Hello and welcome to the ARC Automation Studio. I'm Alan Avery, a senior analyst here at ARC, and I invite you to join us as we discuss managed transportation services. Joining us today is Chris Kinane, a senior analyst with ARC, and he's just completed a study on this topic. Hi Chris, thanks for joining us today. What is your area of expertise in managed transportation, and how has this enriched your analysis of this market? How would you define managed transportation services for the sake of this report?
Thanks, Alan. I have been covering transportation as an industry analyst for the last 10 years. Initially, I was exploring how transportation management fit into the overall omni-channel landscape as retailers and consumer brands tried to figure out the best way to get their products distributed across their entire network and to the end consumer. This included both the use of internal transportation management systems, as well as outsourcing these operations to a 3PL for managed transportation services. For the last 5+ years at ARC Advisory Group, I have been dedicated to researching all things transportation. This includes managed transportation services, transportation management systems, and transportation execution systems. For this study, managed transportation services include planning and execution activities where the 3PL serves as an outsourced transportation department for a customer. This study is restricted to revenues generated from control tower environments. Excluded are brokerage revenues and revenues associated with moving the shipper's goods and assets owned by the 3PL, hardware and software revenues during implementation of the control tower, and short-term consulting work like network design.
What trends are driving customers to explore managed transportation services?
There are a number of key trends that are driving companies to explore a managed transportation arrangement. First and foremost, freight spend requirements are changing. 5 to 10 years ago, the largest providers of MTS services primarily provided services to shippers with freight spend over $100 million. These large sophisticated customers demanded a customized solution. Today, most MTS providers have standardized on one TMS and refuse to customize that solution. This results in speedier and lower cost implementations. These lower costs have in turn resulted in an increased ability to sell MTS to the freight spend 25 to 100 million and 5 to 25 million segments of the market. These two customer segments are now considerably larger than the freight spend of over $100 million category. Many companies are debating whether to bring their transportation management in-house with a TMS or outsource to a managed services provider. The freight savings and service improvements associated with TMS are quite similar to MTS arrangements. However, many shippers lack network design capabilities or a continuous improvement culture. However, many MTS providers do have expertise in these areas. Finally, cross-border commerce continues to grow. While trade wars and protectionism are clearly concerns, the economy is becoming more global in nature. Many shippers simply lack the capabilities to manage cross-border transportation. This is where a managed services agreement comes into play.
Now I wonder, what are the underlying drivers that have been critical to growth in the managed transportation services market?
There are quite a few growth factors in the managed transportation services market right now, but I'll highlight 3 key drivers today. First, managed transportation services have a significant ROI. In a survey, ARC Advisory Group asked about the freight cost reductions from using an MTS provider. 1/3 of respondents indicated that freight costs were reduced by 12% or more, while another third saw freight cost reductions between 3% and 11%. Only 4% of those surveys indicated that their freight costs actually rose. Additionally, few shippers suffered any service degradation based on MTS. 46% of respondents reported improvements in service, with just 8% saying service deteriorated. MTS providers are also getting better with their technology. Historically, one of the leading complaints about MTS providers was that their technology was simply not good enough. As these companies overcome that barrier, potential TMS customers may increasingly choose the managed services path. One of the most important parts of transportation is real-time visibility and shipment ETAs. There is a proliferation of companies integrating external data sources. MTS providers are using these data streams to provide real-time visibility and predictive ETAs.
Thanks, Chris. What market trends will have the greatest impact on shaping strategic initiatives for MTS suppliers going forward?
That's a great question, Alan. One of the most important things for MTS providers to do is invest in TMS, real-time visibility tools, BI, machine learning, and predictive analytics capabilities. Templated versions of the TMS should be developed for core verticals to speed implementations. MTS providers need to go global with their capabilities. Many suppliers are still focused on providing solutions in just North America or Europe. Truly global capabilities depend upon using one TMS solution across all regions and then having regional control towers so that shipments can be tracked on a follow-the-sun basis. And finally, suppliers need to place a premium on service. Success depends not just upon technology, but on service capabilities as well. Top suppliers have a robust continuous improvement culture and the ability to provide advanced consulting in network design and strategic procurement.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for your insights. This concludes our presentation on the managed transportation services market. If any audience members have any questions or need additional information about the study we've just completed, we encourage you to get in touch with the client manager or the author. Thanks for your attention and have a great day.